one of the things that is challenging or can be challenging, at least as I've experienced in my journey, is as we learn better ways of thinking and as we learn better ways of doing in our lives, one of the challenges is when people around us sort of are not on that same plane. And, for example, one of the things that we strive to do with developing a positive mindset is focus on the positive and tune out the negative, because that can really just do so much for our state of being, right? To be able to achieve goals and dreams, we have to be in a good state. We have to have faith. We have to believe in ourselves, believe in others, believe that, the future is getting better, not worse. And so there's a lot of things happening in the world, and, friends and family, they want to talk about the negative things that are happening. And so that's a challenge sometimes to have tolerance there for me. And, there's other areas. But what I wanted to do here real quick is share a nugget with everyone from the book of the month last month, which I'm still reading, Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins. He has a really cool exercise that he teaches in there called the Swish Pattern. And the Swish Pattern can really help us with this tolerance thing. And I just want to share with you real quickly how it goes. So the Swish Pattern, and this Swish Pattern, you can also use this for replacing negative habits with positive habits. Maybe you're really in love with eating chocolate, and you instead of eating chocolate, you want to become less in love with that idea and more in love with the idea of eating maybe grapes or watermelon or something a tad more healthy. And so the Swish Pattern is basically where you close your eyes and you picture in your mind's eye the thing it is that you want to change, or in this case, maybe you're picturing something that is causing you to be a little bit intolerant. Say someone you love that's maybe striving to put negativity into your consciousness. So whatever it is, or if it's in the case of chocolate, wanting to switch from chocolate to something more healthy, you put the chocolate, in your mind's eye. Whatever it is, okay, you see it, you picture it. And then down in the bottom right-hand corner of the movie screen of your mind's eye, and I'm using this one specifically for maybe things we want to be more tolerant of. So I'm picturing this thing in my mind's eye, and then in your mind's eye, in the bottom right-hand corner of the movie screen, I'm picturing this heart, this red heart, and it's a little small square. And the big movie screen is the thing that maybe is causing me some, things that I'm feeling intolerance on or things that I'm wanting to improve on. Well, what you can do is you can take that big picture in the movie screen of your mind, and then you can with a click of a button or the snap of your fingers, you can gray it out, and then all of a sudden you grab the picture from the bottom right-hand corner and you expand it with both hands, and you go whoosh, and you say the sound whoosh, and as you're saying the sound whoosh, this little heart, let's say this little heart all of a sudden gets huge, and it's red, and it fills the screen, and all of a sudden that little gray thing behind you, it's gone, and it's replaced with love. And of course, in the case of swapping out chocolate with something else, you would grab a grape or whatever it is that you wanted to replace it with, and you expand it and you say whoosh, and all of a sudden, you feel great about that new thing. And so I just wanted to pass that along because I was thinking about this tolerance thing and how we seem to continue to have practice sessions, and maybe we can use this exercise to help us to be more tolerant and loving in the places. And that really seems to me the solution. Love. Intolerance, what's the solution for intolerance? Love. See past the differences. See past the negativity. See the love. Feel the love. Feel the love in our heart for the heart of the other person, even though there might be whatever perceived differences that we sense. So wanted to pass that along. And then the other thing I wanted to pass along here, and then we'll get into the reading. I had, as I was continuing the study this morning of Unlimited Power, one of the things that Anthony Robbins says with changing our state is there's two ways to change our state. There's internal representation, which we've just kind of played around a little bit with the whoosh pattern, but then there's also physiology. And he said that physiology is the most powerful thing we can do to change our state. And a couple tips that he shared from the book is if you want to feel in a good state, lift your eyes up, put your shoulders back, breathe deeply, maybe smile. Try to put a big smile on your face and see if you don't all of a sudden start to feel happy. I did this as I was reading the book. It's early. I think it's like 5 o'clock this morning. I'm reading this book, and I just put this big old cheese-eating grin smile on my face, and all of a sudden I felt happiness, go throughout my body. So this is a way that we can change state. We can just think about how we're showing up with our physical bodies in the world, and we can change how we feel. Internal representation and also our physiology, and these are two really important tools that we can use to cultivate a more powerful mindset. And in alignment with cultivating more powerful mindset, two other things. One was just something funny that made me laugh. Maybe it'll make you laugh. We were cruising in the Suburban with our family last week, and all of a sudden my wife says, the world needs a new F word. She's like, I don't like that word. The world needs a better F word. And then my kids are all tuning in and listening, and then my wife's like faith. What if we just, said, what if we just chose to have faith instead of using that other, negative word? And then one of my kids, Camden, he's 10 from the back seat. He's like, oh, okay, Mom. So people are going to start saying, hey, Faith, you. We all started laughing so hard. It was so funny that the kid, thought of that when my wife made that comment. But, yeah, don't we all need more faith? And one of the things that we can do to develop more faith, in addition to reading great books, listening to great audios, getting up in the morning, visualizing our dreams, having a gratitude list, maybe spending a little time in prayer and meditation, maybe planning our day, maybe asking ourselves, okay, after I visualize where I want to go, what are the three most important things that I want to do today to move closer to my dreams? Maybe in addition to all of that, another thing that's really, and getting on this call, right? Another thing that can really help a whole ton is we learn in the book Think and Grow Rich auto-suggestion, right? And one of the things that I've done in the past, and I'm doing it again as of late because I want to be more positive and faith-filled, is I recorded my vision along with the positive beliefs that I want to have that are supporting me in that vision, along with positive, inspirational, happy music behind it. And I'm using it to condition my mind all throughout the day. So first thing in the morning, I'll listen to it. Later on in the day, maybe as I'm doing a little bit of work, I'll plug my headphones in, I'll listen to it. If I'm ever feeling a little bit of a slump, I'll listen to it. How often should I listen to it? As many times as I possibly can, because when I listen to it, it makes me feel good. It reminds me of my purpose. It helps me to remember the things that I'm wanting to believe. And it also helps to change behavior. Beliefs are powerful not just because they filter in and filter out data from our lives, but beliefs are also powerful because they are literally attitudes that affect how we act. And so, if you want to change some sort of behavior about yourself, rather than set a goal, I want to change the behavior, maybe a better question would be, what belief must I cultivate so that this behavior will change automatically? And I want to give you an example. So one of the beliefs that I'm cultivating right now with myself and my family is I'm saying to myself, one of my superpowers is peace. And I have the ability to resolve any contentious situation that arises with ease. And the reason that I want to cultivate this is obviously because I want more peace in my life, but also because with 4 kids, that can sometimes be contentious. I swear, every day fights break out probably 2 or 3 times minimum every day. And I can either make the problem worse or I can resolve the problem with an intervention of some sort. And this is something that I've really wanted to improve in myself for a very long time, but I've had a challenge with it. Parenting is not easy. However, with this new belief that I've been installing in my mind, and I'm listening to it, auto-suggestion, over and over and over, one thing that came to me is when a fight breaks out amongst my kids, maybe what I could do is I could, in a state of calmness, separate the kids that are fighting immediately. And so what I've been doing is I'll go to the kids and I'll say, hey, come here, Cashton, come in the other room with me. I got to talk to you. And then I separate them. And what I found is that just the simple act of separating my kids, oftentimes that's all it takes. That'll stop the fight right then and there. just calmly separating them. But that idea would not have come to me had I not developed, decided on the belief that I wanted to have. For whatever reason, the belief tends to attract the things, the actions, the ideas, the strategies that we need to perform in life. So it's really important to target these beliefs. Another example, I'm cultivating the belief that my wife and my children, family is important to me. And I always give my wife and children first priority of attention in off-business hours. That's a belief that's in my auto-suggestion. Well, the other night, we're at the in-laws, and I've got my headphones on because I'm listening to a podcast, as I like to always learn as much as I can in off-business hours. I tend to always be listening or learning something. And my 10-year-old son, Camden, says, "Hey, Dad, do you want to play Battleship?" And I instantly took off my headphones, and I said, "Absolutely." And we played a game of Battleship. Now, that reaction is a little different from the reaction of maybe the Paul from last year, who would have been a little bit annoyed when his kid wanted to take him away from something that he was interested in. These are just examples of how beliefs can really affect how we show up and behave in life. And so my challenge to you, friends, today is I would love to encourage you, if you don't already have this, write out your vision of where you're going, and I want to encourage you to write down some beliefs. You ask yourself this question: what must I believe in order to achieve these things I have written down? What must I believe? If you have some health goals, how about a belief that says, I believe that I'm in the process, I'm going to live until, and then you set a really high age goal, and you start to believe that. I mean, watch what happens to your decisions just by installing a goal of how long you want to live. You'll automatically start being more cognizant of what you put into your body and what you keep out. What are your beliefs around exercise? Maybe forming a positive belief around exercise. Anyway, so on and so forth. You get the point. So I'd love to invite you to write something out with your vision, with your goals, and a state of beliefs that can support you in that. And if you want to go the extra mile and you want to do something for yourself that will help you maybe more than anything you could do, I want to encourage you to make yourself a mind conditioning audio for you that has positive music, that makes you feel good, that has your vision with your beliefs, and produce it, put it somewhere, maybe on your phone or on a blog somewhere where you have access to it instantly whenever you need it. And I want to encourage you to experiment with that and let me know how it goes. Let me know what kind of effects you see in your life. For me, it's one of the most powerful things I've ever done, and so wanted to pass that along.